How's it going, everybody? My name is Richie, and in January of 2008, I started this YouTube channel. I was only 4 years old at that time, and now I'm 22, about to graduate college in just a few hours. So I wanted to hop on here and just share a few of my thoughts candidly. This is like take 100 of this video, I'm not even joking, and I'm feeling good about this one, so we're gonna go with it. To all my friends, family, from home, high school, college, wherever you're watching from, thank you for being here. I hope you stick to the end because I have a lot to say, but if not, that's okay too. I'm going to be talking about these things, of course, which if you don't know, which many of you might not, these are Jemmy dancing hamsters. They were produced from 2001 to 2008, I believe. I remember getting them in stores around that time, so I think that's what it would be. If you don't know, you press the button. This one doesn't have batteries, unfortunately, but you press the button and it sings a little song and it does a little dance of like a pop culture song. There's like a bunch of different ones that this company Jemmy Industries made back in the day. And when I was a kid, I just loved these things. And I would sit there and I'd press the button over and over and over again, and I'd watch them dance and I'd take videos of them. And it would just bring me the utmost joy to play with these. And my mom primarily and my grandma too would buy them for me, and we'd go to Goodwill's, we'd go to the flea market, we'd look on eBay for them, along other Jemmy products as well. They're animatronic toys like frogs and obviously the other stuff that Jemmy makes, but these things were the pinnacle of my childhood. And I attribute and I ascribe my love for performing arts for these, because when I was a kid, again, I just sit there singing and dancing and humming along. And in some of my old YouTube videos that were uploaded literally back in the day, in 2008, 2009, you can hear me like humming along to the melody of the songs. And I wanted to talk about this because it's such a niche thing. Whenever someone asks me, Richie, what's your niche? What's your niche thing? Like, I have other things too. I'm a big music fan, so I have a lot of niche music interests. I like roller coasters a lot, which I can yap a lot about that. It's like a popular like date question, or not even just date, like anybody will always ask, like, what is your niche thing? And even though societally we've moved kind of past cringe culture and we're a little more open to people's, things, I always hesitate because it's such a juvenile, seemingly juvenile thing. And it's one of those things that people don't really understand. But for me, I've found my niche, of course. And I always hear that. People go, gotta find your niche, gotta find your niche. But they never say why. Of course, finding your niche brings you personal happiness. It's brought me that. It's brought me a lot of personal joy. It has made me a happier person to over the years to collect and, to have like 500 of these things. And, you finding your niche brings you a greater sense of self. It brings you a great sense of passion. But for me, what finding your niche is really about is about how that niche thing that you love makes the world around you a better place. Because that's how I feel with my little hamsters and my little interests. Because when you are your best self, you are your most honest self. And when you are your most honest self, those around you are better off. And finding my love for performance through these things, which if you don't know, I sing, I act, I do all that stuff because of these. Like, that kind of stuff has made my family so happy and proud. I've, engaged in so many opportunities in those fields because I trusted my gut to fall in love with my niche interest. And, it goes without saying, I've made videos like this before, but, don't be ashamed of what you like, as long as it's not hurting anybody, of course. That's something that gets repeated a lot, and I've heard it ever since I was a kid, but people don't really internalize that, either the people saying it or the people hearing it, because I know I struggle with that sometimes. But you shouldn't. Well, not to say you shouldn't struggle, of course, do you, but it's good to fight those feelings, because again, you are your best self when you love the things that you love. And finding your niche and finding things that you care about and just you care about, it makes you special. And one of my favorite movies is the Lego movie. I don't have the quote memorized, but a lot of you know it. Emmett, he's talking to the evil president at the end, and he's talking about how, we're all the special, because we are all capable, we are all lovable, we all have things about us that make us brilliant and that make us unique. And for me, it was these things. This one holds a special place in my heart because the last time I talked to my grandma about it, she said that this was her favorite hamster, and I love my grandma very much. And this one always holds a special place in my heart. I made a video when I was very young about with Dr. Dunk is his name, And in the video, for those who don't know anything about hamsters, I'm sorry I had to put you through this, but he has a little arm mechanism. He bounces the ball up and down. And in the video, right before the video was taken, you can find it on my YouTube channel, I broke the arm on accident. And so in the video, I'm like really timid. I'm like, oh shoot, my mom's gonna know. And back in the day, these were expensive. These were expensive as hell. So yeah, fun fact, little tidbit. This one is cool. It's called Grad. I took a few grad photos with it. I thought it was really symbolic, of course, because I'm graduating too. He's really awesome. I don't remember where I got him, but he's cool. But yeah, I just want to say that about niche interests. Another thing I want to talk about was like, I always hear this thing, my mom tells me this all the time, and it's, you gotta heal your inner child, or you gotta take care of your inner child. And it's a little corny to say that, it's a little weird, kind of cringe, whatever, but it's really true. And whenever you make a mistake, whenever something bad happens to you, I'm be honest with you, I've made a lot of mistakes, and I've been in a very dark place at times, especially in college, even recently. A thing that makes me feel a lot better and a lot more, lively and spirited and ready to take on the world is remembering that, remembering these, because it brings me back to a time where, you're a kid, and the only thing that really matters is what's right in front of you. And what you don't know, you don't even know about yet. And there's not all these crazy mysteries in the world to discover. And so it's really important to find things that make you feel like a kid. Because in those moments of darkness and when you're struggling, like it can get really hard to just exist in such a crazy space. But, I think a lot of people what makes a lot of people feel better is just feeling like a kid. And that's what these do for me too. And on that note, there's, I'm trying to think of even how to segue this. And again, I'm not doing another take, and this is me just rambling and ranting, and I have no script, and this is going to be the last take, like I said. Is just, as I've discussed with, niche interests and having things that make you, it is really easy to lose your sense of self nowadays, because there is so much going on. Not going to get too political, even though I'm a poli-sci major, but it's a very scary world, ran by very scary, evil, and unabashedly terrible people. And in such a world, it is so easy, like I do all the time, to get lost in the madness and to feel isolated, to feel alone, and to feel like there is no hope for you or for your family, for your friends, for the world. And I care about so many different causes that are at threat right now, that are at risk because of the current occupant in the White House, because of the rise of AI, whatever it may be. Things are scary. But I remember talking to my mom about something a few years back, and it really resonated with me. And I'm paraphrasing, and I'm going to coin this quote. We have things that we love, like these hamsters, like, your favorite, your pillow when you were a kid, or your teddy bear, or, your friends and family, or, your material possessions, whatever it is that you love. You can't love those things without you first, And a thing that one of my favorite quotes ever that I'm going to coin here, and I've said this, I think, to a few people, but I'll say it out here for the world as I move on to the next chapter. You have more than anybody can ever take away from you. And that might be obvious, but it's hard to remember that, because we lose a lot all the time, not just at video games or, your sports team, but, we lose a lot. You have a nice interaction with the grocery store clerk when you're on vacation, a lovely interaction. You never see that person again, and you don't really think about it, but it's kind of a loss, right? And, we lose, our, relationships, we lose friends, we never see people again. We as humans, because of how advanced society is and how much progress we've made, are constantly suffering from loss, whether it be severe loss, like death, or a more mundane loss, like never seeing a stranger again, right? We lose all the time. And the one thing that you have that no one else has is you. And you are so important because of that. You can't have all the things that you love without you first. And so people hurt you, you hurt people, bad things happen to you, bad things happen to people around you. But as long as you have you, and I've learned this the hard way, you can do anything you want, even if it seems really, really challenging. And another thing I've learned, and my advice, even though probably most of y'all don't need it, and I could probably take most of your advice, definitely could, is as a part of that, you gotta bet on yourself. And it's easy in society and in the world to not, to maybe not wear your emotions on your sleeve and to reserve yourself to fit in. But you got to believe in things, and you have to stand on what you believe in, even if those beliefs are unpopular. I sound like a conservative right now. That's not what I'm going for here. What I'm going for is you have special talents but things about you that are special. And sometimes people won't understand that. And I see it all the time with people, I'm friends with and with people in my family. But you have you. And that is more important than anything. And as long as you have that, you're good. And that's what I would say. Damn, this video is 11 minutes long. Oh my God. Anyways, that's kind of what I wanted to say. I need to charge my phone. I have a party coming up here, a day party that I got to get to. But I just wanted to also say to those watching, whether it be someone I really, really know or someone I really don't know, thank you for the support. Thank you for everything. I always use the word indebted to describe how I feel toward those who've gotten me to where I am. And I don't feel like that word even touches the stratosphere of how grateful I am and how much I owe to those around me, whether it be the people who have watched this YouTube channel since 2008, or my family, or my friends, or whoever. I'm very fortunate, very privileged person, and I feel like that's something just societally we don't really acknowledge enough is gratitude. One thing that I need to know, I need to remember when I move past college is just to be grateful more. Something I struggle with. It's again hard in this crazy world, but just be grateful is another thing. And I'm grateful. I'm very grateful, and I wish that I could express that better than I do. And I hope that I'm able to in the future. And I hope that you guys, whoever it be watching, are able to reach your goals and do the things that you want to. I don't really know what's gonna happen post-grad. I'm not gonna lie. I don't know where I'm going. Might be here, might be there, might be Bay Area, might be East Coast. Who knows? But regardless of the uncertainties, I know that I have myself, and you know that you have yourselves. And so I'm optimistic that we will do the things we want to do, even if it takes some time, and even if it's confusing and scary and crazy. And so, yeah, it feels weird to end the video. I want to do more videos. I always say that and never do it, but this time, as I embark on this journey, I'm going to try to stick to it. Thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate you for being here, whether it be 22 years, 1 year, 1 month, however long I've known you. Thank you so much, and never stop being you. Appreciate you guys. Bye-bye.